Hey everyone, I am going to try. For some reason I get so much light, so let's do this. Okay, welcome. It's so weird. Welcome everyone. Okay, please. Look at that blue light coming down behind me. Hey Chris. I am really trying to get this so it's clear, but there's so much channeling going on that it may be this way. Hi Stella. Hey Cheryl. Hi Karen. Okay, we can see. Good. Ashley, thank you so much. Hi. I hope you all are really ready for today. So if you've got something to do or housework or you're doing something other than while you're just listening to me while you're doing something, just come back later because you need to be really focused in this today. Hi, Kelly. Nikki J. Hey, Desiree. Thank you so much for coming in. This is going to be absolutely mind-blowing and life-changing, and so much is going on here. So hopefully the light will calm down a little bit. You wouldn't believe it, I have the window completely shut. Still doing this thing to me. There we go. Hi, Mary. Thanks for being here, everyone. So I'm just going to let you guys come in really quickly. As I said, if you have something else that you need to do or you're driving or something, don't watch this now. Okay, watch this later. I don't know how long this webinar is going to go for. It is extremely a lot of information, okay? So we'll get through. I might have to do a second part on some of the other things that I'm going to be talking about, but I welcome you all in. If you've never been to one of my webinars, then you are really going to enjoy this one. This is the best one to be a part of, and that blue light is just shining down, isn't it? Okay, we're doing it. So I welcome you all in. Please tell me, make sure you can hear me. So we can do this. Hi, Canary. Sound is perfect. Awesome. Great. Thank you, everyone. Good, because I'm right next to my computer, so you should be able to hear me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me know. Welcome. Okay. We have a lot to get through today, as I said. Hey, Gilda. Thanks so much. All right, just a second. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to let a few people come through. Okay. Hi, Catherine. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you. We're actually doing really well. Bobby's doing really well. Well, hopefully. He hasn't said otherwise. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. I've got to light some sage. Thank goodness that I can't have any light near me. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, today's going to be life-changing, so we will get through this. Thanks, Delia. Hi, Rachel. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is separately, when I do declarations or I'm doing this meditation and this activation for you today, I will record it on a recording, and then I'm going to set these up at the website for you guys to go back and do again. I can't stress, all the light leaders are here. Thank you so much. I can't stress how much I've worked on this for all of you. And today was the day. I wasn't allowed to have any information about this until today, like basically everything that I was going to do. So it's a lot. And once I started down one rabbit hole, I kept on going. So there's a lot here. There's a huge channeled message for us all, activations, information, and a talk about what this really is. And I just hope that if you're here, you're actually really ready to step into your destiny. And I'm going to explain what that means also. Okay. Don't be distracted by anything. If you are being distracted, just leave and come back and watch this when you can watch the whole thing all the way through. And I will timestamp. I'll go back over it and timestamp where everything begins. Okay. And everybody is feeling a lot of emotion right now because we're just about to enter into this new phase. And hopefully, as you move into this new destiny code, which is not really new, I'll explain it in a minute. Everything will be revealed, okay? And for the light leaders, we will be doing a Zoom call with everybody soon if you all want to catch up, okay? That'll be great. All right. Just going to wait about 5 more minutes and then I'm going to get started. And once I get started with this, then I'll have sections for questions and answers, okay, as we're going through. But once I get started, I'm not focused on who's asking me anything. I'm just into it. Good. Thanks, Trista. Yeah. Please don't watch this if you can't watch it all the way through. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me because there's a lot of information in here. Yeah, and I don't mean to be mean, but it's just I want you to be focused on this wholeheartedly because it's so life-changing. You know, why would you want to do it halfway? So, yeah, if you've got to work or you're driving or something, watch it later. Thank you. All right. Nikki misses everyone. Awesome. Thank you, Trista. That's awesome. That blue light is really coming down. And do you know what? It goes up. It goes up into a thing and then out. So it's kind of weird that it's doing that. We'll let it do it. That is the color for today too, or one of them. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, man. This phone has not stopped. I asked one question online, and that was it. My phone's ringing full stop now. Okay, everybody. I know, isn't it cool? It's crazy. I'll watch it later. This is how close I have to be to the camera's like this far away from me, and it's like there. I have to be this close because of the light. My window is shut as well. I'm channeling. I've been channeling since about 8 o'clock this morning, so it's this is huge. I just can't emphasize how big, and I just hope I'm going to be able to sort of like give it the justice it deserves. Awesome. All right, everybody, couple more minutes. Welcome in, and we will get started with the beginning. I'm going to have to put that up. Literally, I know. This is what you'll all be learning in semester 2. Okay. Okay. Hopefully it settles down because I do need some room on my desk. I'm just going to plug myself in real quick. Okay, Rachel. You'll see why you have to watch this later if you can't do it. So I hope some of you have got the I hope you've got your some crystals and things. I have today I'll have Lemurian, Labradorite, Moonstone, Amethyst, and clear quartz. Okay, everyone. The day is coming when I'm going to have adapters and all kinds of stuff close by. All right. Okay, everybody. So once I get started with this, I'm just going to see if I can toggle the chat somewhere else. Yep, I can. Don't tell yourself you have allergies. That's a good start. Okay. All right. Hopefully I'm going to be able to see this. Okay. Jeez. All right. Welcome, everybody. All right. So once I get started, I'm not going to be able to see this. So I'm going to pop this down here. Right. Okay. All right, everybody. All right, just a sec. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, and welcome in. And I just wanted to say again, just for new people that are coming in, if you don't have time to do this today, that's okay. It's going to go up. I'd really love you all to be here because the power of the energy is fantastic. Right now, I can't see your chat. Okay, I've popped it out so it doesn't distract me. And what I will do is when it's time for question and answers, all right, I will have the chat back up and I'll let you know. Okay, we're going to go through a lot of experiences today, and I'm going to record these declarations and things that I'm talking about. The reason why this is so important, everybody. Okay, so please just listen in, have an open mind. Okay, and when we're ready to progress through each of the meditations, I'm going to talk to you before we do that. All right. So this is a webinar called the Destiny Code. This is something that came to me to give to humanity, and I've called it Stepping into Your True Existence. Okay. So I'm just reading from my notebook here. Okay. So this webinar is designed to awaken you into your true aspects of your life, the life that you're supposed to lead. Okay. A combination of different types of tools will be used to help you move into the future. We each have a destiny code, okay, which is like a backup system of us, which is perfect and untouched. I'm going to get into the channeling about it. It's very deep, okay, everyone? It's connected to the higher aspect of who you are, regardless of if your higher aspect was now or in the past lives or even interdimensional or interplanetary, the highest aspect of who you are. People talk about your higher self. That is a connection that you have and integrate with. Okay. This is an activation of your destiny code, which I'm going to explain. This information and activation you are about to experience has been channeled from my spiritual light team, my own spiritual light team, and source energy. I do have a lot of Egyptian gods and goddesses in there as well. And a group of intelligent beings that are connected with me from the Lyra constellation and in further galaxies that there is no current. I can't explain to you what the name of this is, of the galaxy. I don't know how to say it in English, and to me it's just sounds. Okay, so I can't even explain what it is other than it's huge. The reason this is so important, what we are doing today with this destiny code, thank you for the thumbs up to help me as well, is that it sets you up into a new reality and erases the corruption, pollution, invasions, and cellular issues we have within us. Okay. We set ourselves up with a backup code, a fail-safe, a safeguard that would activate the 12 strands of DNA, our history, our deeper abilities, and everything that's been kept from us. Okay, and I'm going to go into more detail, obviously, about all of this. Also propelling you into the future of abundance, love, truth, and ease. And this is a future that we had already. We already had this happening to us a long time ago. Anything that you have done in the past, okay, ethically, surgically, medically, spiritually, anything that you've done in this life or past life will no longer exist. It can't exist in an untouched, clean, and clear energy. One that certain powers that be do not want you to know about. And this is why today's message is so important. Okay, because I'm really taking a risk giving you this information, and I'm doing it anyway. All right? Your physical body may still display some of the scars and effects of the past. Okay? But your internal structure, the true being that you are supposed to be, will go into its most optimal and magnificent form. And this is going to take a total of 21 days to activate completely. And once you set the process up, which is what we're doing today, it releases and unfolds. Essentially, it gives you time to get used to the new reality and activates a whole new life. Let me explain some more, okay? But first, we're going to get ourselves ready to encode and receive the information. And we want to be sure that we are completely protected, because we want to actually create this protection around us and this cloaking around us, which will ensure that we are safe. Again, if you don't have time for the next couple of hours to be here, just come back later. If you're just coming in, welcome. I will get to question and answer soon. I can't see anybody's chat right now. Okay. But I thank you for being, this is so important to the world. This is a gift to the world. And this is something, as you will see, that I've figured out a lot of things here, and it's so much that I'm probably going to do part 2. But this one today, we're going to be activating. So the first thing that we're going to do is get ourselves into a place of activation. We're not going to do the stepping into our destiny yet, because I need to explain a whole lot more to you. But we will start with our declaration. This is going to give us our supports, protection, and start to begin to get us ready to merge, okay, into our true form, okay? Again, it's a 3-week process, and you're going to have to do these activations for 3 weeks. That's on you, okay? I'm going to give you the information, and I'm just putting it out there, and I'm trusting the information as well, okay? So firstly, let's set up the declaration of protection and permissions here. So the first thing that you're going to do is just close your eyes, okay? Take a deep breath and listen to my words, okay? As a sovereign being of light, I am ready to activate my true light body and destiny code. I hereby give permission for my spiritual light team, higher self, and source to be with me and work with me now. I give permission for a deeper connection into the center of the earth, the center of the new earth, and the universe and new multiverse, and place me in a triple shield of protection of pink, blue, and golden lights, an overlaying high frequency shield in white to deflect any interferences, planetary energies, and bring healing upon me. I also ask for a special shield of pure gold. And this shield of pure gold begins to activate my own destiny code. I am protected and safe. I am supported and loved. And now I am in a place of receiving where only light and love are allowed to dwell. I ask for a cloak of invisibility to be placed around me, which protects me from any outside dark interference, pretending to be from the light, and also protects my own destiny code from being revealed to anyone. This is your code. It doesn't go out of your hands. This also protects through the dimensions and protects my dimensional self and selves. I ask for this to be done through all layers of my being, through all directions of time and space, and with unconditional love and light. So it is. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay. All right, everybody. So right now, what this means is that we are completely, our body is starting to assimilate the destiny codes, the deeper protection and grounding, healing energies coming through. You are safe from any kind of interference, okay? If you do get distracted with something, then go and just watch this when you've got a couple of hours free, okay? Oops. Okay. All right, so I'll leave that for the next one. The next thing that we're doing before I get into the channeling that I want to take you through is we're going to do a master command of clearing, okay, on top of this. All right, we're doing a master command of clearing, and I actually already have this one recorded. So what you should be feeling right now is just ready, okay? You're ready. This, I cannot tell you how important this is to me to give you this information. And when I'm finished, you'll understand why. So what we're going to do right now is a master command of clearing. This is not a specific clearing that you will learn when you do the Light Leaders Academy. You also learn how to clear people and groups, whatever you need to do. This is just something quickly that we can put into place, okay? Because it further integrates our protection and gets rid of anything that we're not really noticing right now as being around us or bothering us in any way, okay? So we'll do the master commands really quickly, and this is a clearing command. After I'm finished this, I'm going to take some questions before I get into the channeling, all right? Remembering that the channeling is probably going to answer a lot of your questions as well, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, okay? Here's the clearing command. So just close your eyes. With the power of my I am presence and the universal forces of light, I release all agreements non-aligned with the divine plan on all levels, all agreements not aligned with the divine destiny code on all levels, conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, throughout all time and space, and with the power of my I am presence and the universal forces of light. I command all those non-aligned with the divine plan of my entire being and life, including all those influencing, having influenced, or intending to influence me in any way, directly or indirectly, and all those shielding from, diverting of, or interfering with this command, including all beings, parasitic beings, and psychic parasites, drug entities, thought forms, psychic mechanism, psychic implants, cords, curses, spells, hexes, limiters, any kind of black magic, psychotronic influences, cosmic evil, stimulation or evocation of my past harmful karma, anything appearing to be of the light but not really, intensification of my misalignment with the divine plan problems, control lines, subliminal and superliminal programming, intentions, vibrations, patterns, forces, energies, any of the above that are masquerading as my being, any of the above integrated with my being but not aligned with its divine plan or destiny code, and any of the above coming through other people or other beings or other objects towards me or other people or events in my life, any of the above that is timed to activate in the future, and anything else that is not aligned with the divine plan on any and or all levels of existence, known and unknown or unnamed, to release from me and all beings and things, and go into the level of the light of the spiritual soul, into the level of the divine light, or into the level of the cosmic light, according to the highest good, unconditional love now, and continuing for a week. So be it. Okay? So even from doing that in itself, those two things, you may not have done anything like that for a little while. Okay? Or ever. You're going to feel a little bit different as you're listening along today. So what I'm going to do is find my chat. Okay. 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 So I can see your chats now. Welcome in, everybody. Do any of you have any questions before I keep going? Because the next part's going to get quite intense. Okay. Let me know if you have. And remembering that we're going to be doing a big activation towards the end. Hi, Katie Cat. Good. Okay. So if people are just coming in, just make sure you've got a couple of hours. Excellent, Lillian. No, Delia. Wonderful. Anything that's getting rid of any negative energy is never going to affect anything that's getting rid of negative energy, right? So keep going. Okay, people are feeling wonderful. The next part of this is quite a few pages. Okay. Thank you. All right, everybody's ready to keep going? Okay. So when we get to the next part, I'm going to be channeling this. This is a channeled information that's all about the Destiny Code, why it's here, what we're doing. And I appreciate people coming in, okay? But hopefully everybody else will say, hey, she's doing her thing. Because once I start talking, I'm not going to be answering questions. So if you have something you want to ask me now. Hi, Moon. Love that push past. Okay, get yourself a drink or a cup of tea or coffee or something, because this next bit's heavy. I'm going to explain something to people that don't necessarily look at this thing in this way. This is how my brain works. Okay. This is great. I appreciate all of you being here. I wanted this number to be huge. People that are ready to step into their destiny. Yes, hippie, you must be alone and relaxed. I can't stress it enough, because people don't take it very seriously if you're just racing around doing stuff. This is a lot for me to bring to you, and I'm taking a risk by mentioning any of this stuff here on YouTube, and I'm doing it anyway. And I do love that everyone's here. I asked for the right people to be here. So thank you for taking this seriously as we keep going. And at the end, when I'm finished today, there's going to be a part 2 of more information. Just so you know, this one's got all the activations in it. Part 2 will have more information, and you'll see what I mean. Here we go. Okay, so I can't see your chat right now. Many of you might be feeling things moving or leaving from behind your head. Okay, this is good. All right. I am moving into the channeled message. It's quite long. Dear ones, greetings and love to you. A new doorway of truth, awakening, acceptance, and mystery is being revealed. I am source energy, and I come forward to you with all beings of light and love to unlock and integrate within you your destiny code. What is a destiny code, you might ask? This is something that is like what you would call a safeguard, a fail-safe, a locked away version of you that is protected at all times from any kind of altercation, change, and invasion. It is within your soul star, which is just above your head, and your earth star chakra just beneath your feet. This is why we're in our pillar of receiving right now. It is within your soul star and earth star chakras. It can never be destroyed. Okay? Only activated by you and you alone, and you would never have known about this. Maybe you would, but it would take a long time. This is something that the information is right here, okay? This is with your permission only. This is you doing this activation. This has nothing to do with me. I'm just going to help you, okay? You will be using 3 sacred keys, and they will be of colored lights. They will hold a vibration. They will hold your own signature energy, and they are the only things that activate this destiny code within you. Again, something that the powers that be do not want you to know that you have access to, okay? Any invasive energy or procedure will thereby be destroyed. Anything that has been unpure or designed to harm you or designed to accelerate your body and health problems will be removed upon activation. You don't have to do anything, only give permission to activate. And once activated, your full 12-strand DNA, your cells, your true nature, all of your abilities, all of your healing, all of your everything opens. And it will return to full capacity and strength as it used to be in ancient times. Any current health issues with continued positive reinforcement that you're going to have to do will seem to disappear. your natural psychic abilities will unfold and a brand new future can begin. When you fully integrate your code, again, only you can activate it with this internal lock with 3 sacred keys, 3 sacred numbers. Everything will change. Humanity will survive, peace will quickly take over, and your normal world will change. We must activate this destiny code to further push you into your life path and blueprints. If you have wished for everything to change, for Earth to have peace, for harmony and connection, please decide what you truly want to do. Please decide you have everything to gain with your activation. After all, it was designed by you. It was set up by you before you even came to this planet. You gave yourself an easy way out of dealing with karma, cycles, invasive procedures, and anything you feel has been forced upon you. Anything. Doesn't matter what it is. The worlds, the planets, etc., also have their own destiny codes. In a sense, creating wormholes of escape to renew and restart. Your vibration has been getting ready for the last 5 years. This is why so much has changed. Why is BDevine doing this? Why her and not us? This information has been available to everybody. Only it was called higher self or astral bodies, believing that it could only be activated in your meditations or journeys, not actually embodied, right? So, when we do our higher self connection and we go out of our astral body, blah, 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 we feel like the only time we can actually do that is when we're meditating about it or before going to sleep or whatever. And we feel like it's just something we step in and out of. Not true, okay? It's time for the turning point in your history. This is how important this is. BDevine is not and never would consider herself to be chosen. However, she worked this out as a way of helping the world and all the world's occupants. She herself wants you all to get out of the negative drudgery of the 3D world and instead move into your destiny, which is abundant and free. There is instant healing. There is abundance. There is mind, thought, manifestations like we used to do before everything changed, okay? I'll explain. Believe us when we say unto you all that this destiny code has purposely been kept from humanity. Purposely been kept. You all are not supposed to know the secret. You are not supposed to know the secret passage to divinity. You're not supposed to know that you set yourself up a pure light body for yourself, that it was untouched, in case people try to mess with the one you have here and change it and alter it from its original, beautiful, perfect state. You are not, as far as the bigwigs go, okay? You're not supposed to be leaders of humanity. You're supposed to be followers. You're supposed to be slaves. You are being urged to listen, okay? Take action and change your destiny into its proper course. I'm feeling really emotional. You are not meant to suffer. way the darkness wants you to live, sorry everyone, the way the darkness wants you to live is not how any of you will be happy, okay? You're never going to get there if we keep going like this. Don't make any promise or oath or decrees or vows to anybody, okay? But make these to yourself. To give away yourself is to be lost. Never, sorry guys. This is so important, okay? To give away yourself is to be lost. Never to be found again until you indeed save yourself, okay? Throughout Earth time, there have been multiple connections to enslavement. And this only happened after the fall of Atlantis, Lemuria, and other ancient places of harmony. Periods of time in absoluteness, peace, ultimate healing, and awareness resulted in peaceful existence and harmony. Dark forces from other planets promised more power and control of humanity as a whole, as well as the beasts of the earth. So these beings from other planets promised certain people that they would be able to have more power than others and take control of humanity and animals as well. What you know as religion, Freemasonry, churches, schools, governments, and institutions of all kinds have been governed by evil, pretending to be of the light, pretending to be of peace and harmony. They are all promised to keep all secrets quiet or die horrible deaths. They show the world who they are, and they also show the world what level they have connected with and promised these evil beings. They do this with hand gestures, with crosses, hand gestures, okay? They show the world by doing this who they are and what level they have connected with and promised with these hand gestures, crosses, stars, snakes, and symbology. If you look deeper, signs and information is freely given, although it's under the disguise of joking, or it's in movies, it's on advertisements, it's on food labels, it's on clothing labels, it's on, in movies and actors and all kinds of things. This is not a joke. This is following an older decree. But if you look, those who are under the influence of evil or are with the secret societies, with the churches, etc., all show to other members their level of commitment through these signs. okay? Because each level of commitment has a dire consequence. So when they show these signs of what their commitment level is, other people know that are in that whole thing. And if you think this is rubbish, that's okay. All right? I didn't believe in any of it either. There are, unfortunately, so many that are caught up in this, and they believe that what they are doing is positive and experiencing things that are life-changing. These people become very wealthy. They have any problems with money. They have sudden success. They have influence, and they come together in groups so that no one would believe the worst of the worst. Okay? So please just listen. Keep listening. Witchcraft and wickery, in its older sense, was the creation of healing and remedies for all the ancient ones. This is how we worked with intuitive healing and adjustments and nature. However, it is governed and brought into existence through rebellion, Freemasonry, and sacrifices. As things began to change, what was thought to be freedom and freedom to express was controlled, and deeply disturbing practices which are not part of an original essence of the original idea of the healing modalities were introduced. So as soon as one thing was allowed to come through, then there was freedom of something else, and then there was freedom of something else, and then there was getting to be okay with this and getting to be okay with that, and this and this and this and this. Christianity is a cover for satanic worship. Sorry. Only those who abide by the rules of silence and turning a blind eye are safe. This enables money, ritual, and sacrifice to be okay to humans to gain God's favor. But which God? Certainly the source of all requires nothing of you. The source of all requires nothing of you. Nothing. Only that you see yourself as unconditionally loving. That is your goal. This is why animals hold nothing but unconditional love for you. Try to show that to you. That's all Source wants you to actually do. You don't have to give away all of your clothings and possessions and items and give money to this one and this one and this one. There is no need to pray or pay, okay, to have salvation. This is already your eternal right. This was the way of everything before the control came in. So this is not any one faction like, oh, that this is the whole thing's terrible. This is how it's been set up on purpose. Okay? This is how it's all been set up on purpose to control humanity through fear, greed, whatever they want to do. The great manipulation of mankind has been what you have each been born into. You do not need to continue suffering anymore. You do not need to continue suffering anymore. Those who go to practice these religions are not themselves, excuse me, like people who go to church are not inherently evil. That's not what I'm saying. But they are blinded by the light that they wish to see, and through fear invoke trials and pain and live life without truly knowing Source, but instead knowing fear of not believing. Churches are a business and were created to force people to do as they are told. This has never been the way of light, freedom, and love. This is why, I'm just pausing for a second. This is why I'm never connected with Wickery or anything. Churches, I'll take bits and pieces from everything that I want, but you create your own way to connect with Source. And that's okay. You're allowed to do it. In fact, you're supposed to be doing it, because anything else is control. Conform. Do as you're told or else. Fear. That does not come from the light. You don't have to believe in anything. You don't have to believe in anything. And yet, you will still be welcomed. You will still be welcomed in the afterlife. Understand that you do have choices. And you don't have to struggle anymore. It is time for you all to shine, to embody all you truly can be. There is much to tell of how you all have been turned away. And in some cases, you have been kept away from your true origins. This will come later. Now is the time to release and awaken and come into your own super self, your own destiny, and unlock with your own keys, your own pure self that has been locked away from you from Lemurian Atlantean times. Trust in your own self and the strength of who you have always intended to be. This activation is not something new, and it's not new age, but ancient, and brings back the old age that you were a part of creating. Listen to your own truth. You are loved. You are the essence of love and creation. Be blessed. Rise up, children of the new earth. Blessed be, I am Source, and there is much more to tell, okay? So for many, many thousands and thousands and thousands of years, okay, we have been under the rule of thumb of beings that came with evil intentions to take over the planet. Let's just put it that way. And people wanted more power for some reason, even though that was never a thing, because everybody generated what they wanted anyway. So being given this opportunity to have more than others was something that these beings must have been really talked into, like really forced into, perhaps even. And promised, I don't know what. Because if you can manifest anything, you don't really need anything. Maybe it was high magic. Some people do say that. And this is what we've seen symbolically throughout time since then. When this occurred, the connection with Atlantis, especially with the pyramids and the crystals and the activations that the pyramids and the crystals had and powered everything up, etc., it was the crystals or the pyramids were used in too high of a frequency and in turn destroyed everything. And it was promised, or it was prophesied, that that was going to happen, and many people were prepared. And so what they did was they tried to recreate Atlantis in Egypt, okay? And this is another story as well. But there were certain symbols, there were certain signs there were certain things that needed to happen in order to please these beings. And this has gone on for the longest time. Eventually, they brought this energy through our lives as control, as slavery, as do as you're told or die, as listen to the one God, the one God, the one God, the one God, or else. If you don't believe, you're going to hell. It was all changed. And people, can you imagine being so confused that as soon as you started to lower your vibration into those thoughts and feelings of fear, you lost your abilities, or they lessened a lot, or you didn't know what to trust and believe in? How many of you do that now? So what we did was something pretty clever. Like the Lemurian crystals that are filled with information that we put in, it wasn't the only thing that we set up for ourselves. And if this hits one person and you change into your new destiny, into your new completely intact energy force, and you are living your life leading others into light and true teaching and, true power that is understanding and unconditionally loving and on a person's level, then that's all that matters here today, is if one of you actually get what I am saying, okay? Because this is so important, because otherwise there are going to be things that continue to happen, as many of the negatives talk about a lot. Oh, there's going to be a one world order, right? There's going to be this and that. Then there's going to be this disease and that disease. All the things that they wanted us to believe as end times, and this is the finish, to lead us away from our code of destiny. That'll just keep being a reality for many people, but not for you, okay? So before I get into some extra things, I'm going to continue to talk just for a moment. I am here on a mission. I personally, Becky Devine, which is actually my name, am here on a mission to help you, to help yourself. I have had everything happen to me in a life that a person can have happen, and I've been confused as anybody else as what the hell is going on as well right now. Only that something continually was telling me that everything that we're seeing can be changed. That we don't have to live this life in this energy, in this vibration. And that we have more capacity inside of us than we ever knew was possible. And the powers that be know it. And when I'm talking about the powers that be, I'm not talking about your governments, because they're at the bottom of the chain. Okay? The big dark energies that were original, let's just say the original gangsters that came to take over this planet, okay, are gone. That's gone. But what you have left is an infiltration of their work, hybrids of their beings, etc., on this planet, posing as helping you. And they are posing through the institutions. Okay? You don't have to believe in conspiracy theories. This is not about conspiracy theories. I couldn't give a crap. But I can tell you that there is an insidious theme. And this theme is continuing, and it's trying its best to hang on, because it doesn't want you to have your destiny code. It doesn't want you to know about your own vehicle, your own body that you set up. This is excellent. You're that clever that you thought to yourself, if anything tries to take over this beautiful, peaceful harmony, if any being from any other planet tries to, inject us or kill us off or wipe us out, that we will be able to slip ourselves into our own energy of 12D, our own abilities, everything being intact, untouched. But we will have to learn how to activate it, because if we knowingly know what we're doing, they could also get that out of us. That's how clever negative beings are. Okay? This is your personal activation that we're going to be doing here. And this is what we're waiting for. Okay? This is how important it is. Because once you step into it, you will know. You will just know what you need to do. You won't have the distractions of moaning and complaining and griping and where's my money and when's this happening and I've got a headache and I feel sick and I've got this and I've got that and this is happening. This is happening in my family. This is happening to my friends and there's drama over here. I'm sick of the president and I'm sick of this and I'm sick of that and blah, blah, blah. That will not matter because you're in your power, so it won't exist. We're going to bypass this crap, and it's a energetic elevation. We're not leaving this, just beaming up somewhere else. Energetically, vibrationally, we are doing this. Okay? And you're doing it for your own light body. And instead of just activating it every now and then when you want to channel or whatever, you're stepping into it. And you are the only one who has the keys to unlock it. Okay? And I don't want to know what they are. So where are we going? All right? Where are we going? Where do you want to be in 2 years? 1 year? What do you want to see happen? Do you want to see things continually devastate all the manipulations that are going on? You are the most important one. What church is going to tell you that? They're going to tell you that you're so naughty, that you've got so much to make up for, that you might not ever get it done. Now, you're a sinner and you were born that way. You're in trouble. Jeez, you better come and pay your tithe to this church because you're in a lot of trouble here. They don't tell you how to empower yourself. Okay? What school tells you that you are the most important one on this planet without being egotistical? What school, what institution gives you confidence, gives you hope and faith that you can do anything you set your mind to? What gives you that? Try to think about it. What pharmaceutical company tells you how to naturally heal yourself? What hospital tells you what you really need? Look at this. Look at the things on TV. Look at the advertisements for drugs, etc. And in the United States, they give you all the side effects, which are just, you might as well just not worry about it because whatever you had was a lot better than what you're going to get. What leader tells you how important you are? Tells you how they understand you? Tells you how to excel in your life? What is it? What actor is helping us? Where's Hollywood helping us? Where do we see anybody that helps us? It's the people that are squashed. It's the people that have nothing, that are willing to give you everything. And as I said to you, I'm risking everything by doing this today, and I'm just trusting. I am trusting. If I'm not here, or if YouTube goes down, I will go somewhere else. Okay? But I am trusting. And YouTube has known about this upcoming webinar. They're not going to stop me because you matter. I am a spiritual guide. That's all I want to ever be, is just help you to understand yourself. That's it. You're the one that activates your life. You're the one that changes your life. You're the one that can just think for a moment. Just think of when you've been really positive in your life and you've opened up and you've trusted in things, how wonderful things have been. And when you've started to get nervous and anxious and scared, what has happened then? I don't know how many people do not leave their home. They're terrified. How many people are manipulative in your family when you're just trying to be good? How many of you have been born into a family circumstance where there's a lot of illness? If you're listening to me today, it's because you've been, in a sense, chosen yourself to activate this change throughout your family lineage and your future lineage, whatever you want to call that. The earth changes because it activates its own safeguard, has its own failsafe, right? Has a safety mechanism that it can switch on as well. It's not stupid, and neither are we. We're not stupid at all. And these dark energies, they know it. Your subconscious mind and the subconscious programming, okay? Things that you're always doing as a habit. As a habit, subconsciously, you and each one of you are afraid of something. And you don't need to be, because that is blocking you from your mind moving into your destiny of anything goes. Because in ancient Lemuria and Atlantis, in different ancient places around this galaxy, actually, we just used to be able to adjust a frequency by thinking about it. That hasn't gone anywhere. Our words were powerful. We barely talked. That hasn't gone anywhere. We would see angels and guides and loved ones and ancestors just walking around us, and gods and goddesses walking around the people. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. It's still there. It's just we believe it takes a whole lot of this, and this to do it, because of our upbringing of do as you're told, and you need to be the best in the class, and you're doing this wrong, and I'm going to mark your tests, and it's going to be wrong because I've already chosen who is going to be the one that is the most malleable in my classroom, and it's not you. And that's how I was treated. It's like, no matter how smart I was, it's like, nah, Becky's too, and now I know it would have been like, she just knows too much. I need someone that I can manipulate. Have you been someone that people can manipulate? Why? Why are you a person that is manipulated? Let me tell you why. Because your empathy, which comes from ancient times, stops you from being someone who is a manipulator. You don't know how to do it. So someone who is a manipulator sees you and thinks, I can get away with anything here. There's no empathy in a dark soul, in a dark energy. There's no feelings of remorse. They don't care about what they're doing. They don't have that thought of feeling, otherwise they wouldn't be able to do anything. And what are they more afraid of? Not someone who's kind like you. They are afraid of the people that they got themselves contracted to, whether they know it or really not. Okay? This is important. This awakening everyone's talking about, and we're doing it in the ascension. Yep, we're doing it. There's more to it. And that is this destiny code. This destiny code where we begin to step into this world that we haven't known for thousands and thousands of years. But once we go into it, we're not going back. So once you step into your destiny code, there's no point sitting there saying, well, what about this person and this? It's not about anybody but yourself. Doesn't mean you're not going to see other people or see what's going on, but you're just far above it. Far above it. And now quickly, before I take some questions, I am going to talk to you a little bit about something. Okay. Oh my God. All right. So everything's fallen because I've got no room right now. So it's because I had to pull my computer right up to me. So let's take a look at this. I didn't have time to actually jot down everything that I'm, going to be talking about, because I'm going to do that in part 2. But the Celestine Prophecy, okay, super easy book to read. Looks like a little fable. I'm just going to read something in here for you. And it's called, it's in a part of the book called The Message of the Mystics, okay? Okay. When one has already encountered a mystical experience, getting back into this state and raising one's personal energy level comes much easier. So you've already encountered a mystical experience. So getting back into this state and raising your personal energy level comes much easier. Others can also connect, but it takes a little longer. A strong memory of the experience, as I think that you've learned, facilitates its recreation. After that, one slowly builds back. Get what it's saying there? A strong memory of your experience in a world where there was no control. There was no manipulation. There was no people faking it. There was no people pretending to be your friends. There was no people using you or sexually abusing you or raping you or killing children, eating people. All this craziness. People go, oh, that just doesn't happen. It does happen. It's called a ritual. Okay? And I'm going to go over an old book in a minute that will explain it even better than I can. A strong memory of this experience, of a life that you've had before, many, many, many moons ago, is all you need to facilitate its recreation. Okay? After that, you just go. I randomly turned to this page today. I knew I had to read it. And I got this from the op shop, and some lady has actually marked out. She's actually underlined all this stuff, and she's had a great time in this book. Okay. Right. So I wanted to just point that out real quick. The second thing that I'm going to point out real quick is a book called A Dictionary of Symbols. It's by J.E. Solo. This one is the original book of symbols. They may have changed it. Okay? They may have changed it because I'm telling you, it's telling. Then I'm going to tell you this. The first thing that we're going to look at is the serpent. Okay? What does the serpent mean? Let's take a look. You're going to be shocked, I'm telling you. There is more in this that I'm going to explain. Okay? We're going to start with the serpent. Okay, just a sec. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that humanity has not been in its wholeness since ancient times. That there's been things in place that have come from other worlds to control and manipulate the earth. And it's really in our face, kind of like right now, just how much they're losing, because they know that if us, the light leaders, actually begin to really focus our energy, they're gone. It never exists again. This is why this is so important for me to bring you these messages today. And I channeled all day because I wasn't allowed to know exactly what this was in case I, got excited and told everybody. Okay. The first one is the serpent. And the reason that I'm going to mention the serpent is because it is on a lot of our medical stuff. Okay, just about all medical stuff has the intertwining caduce, serpent. Okay, and it's usually two-handed. We also know about the Ouroboros. We know about the snake from the Bible. Okay, and there's an interesting take on this. So here's the serpent or the snake. If all symbols are really functions and signs of things, imbued with energy, okay, then the serpent or the snake is by analogy symbolic of energy itself, of force, pure and simple. Hence its ambivalence and multivalencies. Another reason for its great variety of symbolic meaning derives from the consideration that these meanings may relate either to the serpent as a whole or to any of its major characteristics. For example, to its sinuous movements, its common association with the tree, and its formal analogy with the roots and branches of the tree, the way it sheds its skin, its threatening tongue, the undulating pattern of its body, its hits, its resemblance to a ligament, its method of attacking its victims by coiling itself around them. Okay? What is the symbol of medicine? It's in our face. Okay? Even though it's underneath the disguise of helping. And look, it's not the people that are working for these companies. It's not the people that just got a job as a nurse or whatever and thinks it's wonderful to be helping people. That's not who I'm talking about. Okay? It's a bigger picture here. Its hiss, its resemblance to a ligament, its method of attacking its victims by coiling itself around them, and so on. Still another explanation lies in its varying habitat. There are snakes which inhabit the woods, others which thrive in the desert. There's aquatic serpents and those that lurk in lakes and ponds, wells and springs. In India, snake cults or cults of the spirit of the snake are connected with the symbolism of waters of the sea. Snakes are guardians of the springs of life and of immortality, and also of those superior riches of the spirit that are symbolized by hidden treasure. And as regards to the rest, it's been suggested that the snake, since its sinuous shape is similar to that of the waves, may be a symbol of the wisdom of the deep. and of the great mysteries. Yet, in their multiplicity, and as creatures of the desert, snakes are forces of destruction, afflicting all those who have succeeded in crossing the Red Sea and leaving Egypt. In this sense, they are connected with the temptations facing those who have overcome the limitations of matter and have entered into the realm of the dryness of the spirit. This explains why Madame Blavatsky, which we will get into at another time, can say that physically the snake symbolizes the seduction of strength by matter. So as Jason by Medea, as Hercules by Omphale, and by Adam by Eve. Therefore, providing us with a palpable illustration of the workings of the process of involution and of how the inferior can lurk within the superior, or the previous within the subsequent. This is borne out by Diel, for whom the snake is symbolic not of a personal sin, but of the principle of evil inherent in all worldly things. It is the symbol of evil inherent. Why? Because they took over everything, right? And that's their symbol. The same idea is incorporated into the Nordic myth about the serpent of Midgard. There's a clear connection between the snake and the feminine principle. Elide observes that Gressman regarded Eve as an archaic Phoenician goddess of the underworld who is personified in the serpent. Although a better interpretation would be to identify it with the figure of Lilith, the enemy and temptress of Eve, or is it? So, there are numerous Mediterranean deities who are represented carrying a snake in one or both of their hands. For example, Artemis, Hecate, Persephone. Okay? And he relates these to the finely sculpted Cretan priestesses in gold or ivory, and to the mythic figures with snakes for hair. Okay, Medusa, the Gorgon. So Medusa was just one of the, there was a whole lot of the Gorgons, right? Or the Erinyes. He also mentions that in Central Europe, there's a belief that hairs pulled out the head of a woman under the influence of the moon will be turned into snakes. The serpent was very common in Egypt. Why? The hieroglyph, which corresponds phonetically to the letter Z, is a representation of the movement of the snake. Like the sign of the slug or horned snake is equivalent to F, the letter F. This hieroglyph refers to cosmic forces. Generally speaking, the names of the goddesses are determined by signs representing the snake, which is tantamount to saying that it is because of woman that the spirit has fallen into matter and evil. But wait a second. The snake is also used, as are other reptiles, to refer to the primordial, the most primitive strata of life. In the Book of the Dead, the reptiles are the first to acclaim Ra when he appears above the surfaces of the water of Nu. The demonic implications of the serpent are exemplified in Tuat whose evil spirits are portrayed as snakes. However, these, like the vanquished dragon, may also take on a beneficent form as forces which have been mastered, controlled, sublimated, and used for the superior purposes of the psyche and the development of mankind. And in this sense, they correspond to the goddesses Nekabet and Yujat or Buto. They also become a Uraeus. The same thing happens in the symbolism of the Kundalini, constituting the most precious ornament of the royal diadem. So as we've said, right, the basic characteristic of the snake which have determined its symbolic significances: an animal endowed with magnetic force. Because it sheds its skin, it symbolizes resurrection. Because of its sinuous movement, and also because its coils are capable of strangling, it signifies strength. Because of its viciousness, it represents the evil side of nature. Its ability to shed its skin greatly impressed ancient writers. Philo of Alexandria believed that when the snake shakes off its skin, it likewise shakes off its old age, that it can both kill and cure, and that it is therefore the symbol and attribute of the aggressive powers, positive and negative, which rule the world. Okay? Finally, it was decided that it is the most spiritual of animals, apparently. Carl Jung has pointed out that the Gnostics related it to the spinal cord and the spinal marrow, an excellent image of the way the subconscious expresses itself suddenly and unexpectedly with its peremptory and terrible incursions. He adds that psychologically, the snake is a symptom of anguish expressive of abnormal stirrings in the subconscious, that is, of a reactivation of its destructive potentiality. So in other words, you'll just suddenly get these negative thoughts and, you'll just destroy yourself, right? So it's like having the two snakes within you, right? Until you don't have to live like that anymore. This is directly comparable to the significance of the serpent in Norse mythology. So in the Völuspá, it is proclaimed that the deluge will commence when the serpent awakens to destroy the universe. For Zimmer, the serpent is the life force which determines birth and rebirth, and hence it's connected with the wheel of life. The legend of Buddha tells how the serpent wound itself round his body 7 times, but since it could not crush him, it turned into a youth bowing low before Gautama. The connection of the snake with the wheel is expressed in graphic form in the Gnostic symbol of the Ouroboros, or serpent biting its own tail. Half of this mythic being is dark and the other half light, as the Chinese yin-yang symbol, which clearly illustrates the essential ambivalence of the snake in that it pertains to both aspects of the cycle, both the cycle, the active and the passive, the affirmative and the negative, and the constructive and the destructive. So, the ancient serpent is the prop of the world, providing it, this is interesting, with both materials and energy, unfolding as reason and imagination, and also a force of the darkness. Okay? It is used everywhere. as some kind of healing or awakening or whatever. It is always been, as far as I see the snake coming up when I'm doing the Lenormand readings, it's manipulation. Okay, you're being tricked, you're being tested, you're being tempted. Okay, others call it healing. That's because of the Uraeus, right? The caduce. And it's because of the medical terminology that we see it. We see it. People think of the Kundalini. Oh, the snakes are going to wake up in the back of my body. We see the snakes in, Egyptian mythology, for example. Okay, we're getting to that right now. Okay, so a force of the darkness. Let me just go through this real quick. Okay. All right, so we've worked out this. The biblical symbol of the tree of life encircled by the snake, signifying the principle of evil. Okay. The pattern here points to the close relationship between life and corruption as the source of all evil. So people go on to suggest that it is the subversion of the spirit that brings about the death of the soul, and that this is what medicine must in the first place set out to combat. Now, the opposite to the encircling of the snake is the crucified snake, as it is to be found among the figures included in Abraham Lejeune in the 16th century, some in Paris. I can't understand what all the abbreviations are. And this is a figure of the reptile nailed to the cross. And Madame Blavatsky always said that the serpent is the Lord. Why would she say that? Or it is also represented mythically by the victory of eagle over serpent. Heinrich Zimmer recalls that in the Iliad, an eagle appears to the Greeks carrying a wounded snake in its claws. The seer saw this as an omen portending the triumph of the Greeks. Since all struggle is a form of conjunction and therefore of love, it is hardly surprising that man should have created a synthesis of opposing powers. Heaven and earth, the image of the plumed serpent, the most notable symbol of pre-Columbian America. Plumed serpent. The serpent has feathers on its head, in its tail, and sometimes on its body. Quetzalcoatl is another androgynous symbol of this kind. And this is androgyny in its finest, because we have the snake as both masculine and feminine. Okay? And this also is what's being brought forward. The symmetrical placing of two serpents, as in the caduce of Mercury, is indicative of equilibrium of forces, of the counterbalancing of the cowed serpent by the untamed serpent. So representing good, balanced by evil, health by sickness. Okay, you need to pay attention to what this is. As Carl Jung has shrewdly observed, this much used image is a adumbration of homeopathy, a cure affected by what caused the ailment, right? The serpent therefore becomes the source of the healing of the wound caused by the serpent. This is why it would serve as a symbol of Saint John the Evangelist and appear in association with the chalice. Whole nother story. The different forms which the serpent may take are not numerous. The sea serpent is different. The dragon serpent is different. There's a lot of legends of a lot of different heads, seven-headed serpents, right? Symbolism of the church, everything's in 7 days a week, right? And the circle and the triangle are also symbols. And the circle and the triangle, a whole nother story we're going to get into as well. So, okay. All right, let me just quickly. So, as you can see, the energy of the serpent alone, which is used as a symbol around the world, is actually forcing us to look all the time at evil, at darkness, at you've got to have this in order to have this. If you want this, then, if you want to get well, then, you have to have this. Almost like we have to be entwined with this energy that we don't really want. And because it's always in our face, it's not something that they want us to stop looking at. Okay, this is what you got to also focus on, is the symbology of different things in our institutions, in our life, right? And when we see things all the time, and it is ingrained in here, so we think about it and thereby bring it more power. In other words, the more that you're looking at all the mundane around us, the more that you give it power, the more it exists. So by showing us in a subtle way, in the health sectors, in the churches, and all these things, the different symbology, it's ingrained in our being, and therefore it takes over in one way or another. We don't have to let this. So the circle and the triangle, also the triangle and the inversion of the triangle is also some of the gestures or hand gestures to indicate to another person who is in an order of what level on the order that they are at. Okay. The other thing that, so we can talk about this quite a lot. The next thing that I'm going to quickly look at, it's not as long as this, is the key. So remember we were talking about the key and you activating your destiny code. Okay. Now there's a whole lot more about symbology that I really want to go into, but I'm going to go into this one real quickly. And it's not as long as that one. But the key is here. Now, let's see. All right, so I want you to listen to what key, the word key, or the symbology of key really means. Okay, we know it unlocks a door. Okay, we unlocks and locks. Okay, so that's what we think of as a key. Have a listen. It is symbolic of mystery or enigma, or of a task to be performed, and the means of carrying it out, right? It sometimes refers to the threshold of the subconscious. The key to knowledge corresponds within the cycle of the year to the month of June. The month of June is a healing month. So it's almost upon us. And this is why I started my semester 2 at the 1st of June. And this is why I wanted to start this now, so that you could work through this through June. It's important. The conjunction of the symbols of the male dove and the key signifies the spirit opening the gates of heaven. And if you look at the lost book of Nostradamus, and we just did a reading the other day with those cards, it showed the dove resting on top of the key, opening the gates of heaven. The emblem formed by 2 keys, sometimes placed over the heart, and you see this sometimes in the Hierophant. There's a lot of symbology in the tarot. relates to Janus. In legend and folklore, 3 keys are often used to symbolize a like number of secret chambers full of precious objects. This is why also, without me realizing it, we are using 3 keys to unlock your destiny code. They are symbolic representations of initiation and knowledge. The first key of silver concerns what can be revealed by psychological understanding. Psyche, the moon is silver, lunar, lunacy, psyche. The second is made of gold and pertains to philosophical wisdom. Philosophical wisdom. The third is of diamond and confers the power to act. The finding of a key signifies the stage prior to the actual discovery of a treasure. You've got the key, but you haven't got the treasure yet. Okay? That comes from unlocking the lock. Found only after great difficulties. This is where we're at. Sorry if you can hear the dogs. Clearly, there is a morphological relationship between the key and the Nem Ankh. It's the sign for eternal life. The answerated cross of the Egyptians. Their gods are sometimes shown holding this cross by the top as if it was a key. It is a key. It's a key to life. Especially in ceremonies holding the cross by the top as if it were a key, especially in ceremonies concerning the dead. But it should perhaps be pointed out that in this case, it is the keys that derive from the acerated cross, the archetype of the key of eternal life that opens up the gates of death onto immortality. An attribute. It's a symbolic of mystery and enigma. Okay? It's amazing. Okay, they don't want us to have these keys because we will release ourselves from the hold of the snake, from the hold of having to do this in order to get this, from the hold of doing what we are told or else, from the hold of pay this and pay that and do. We shouldn't have to be, we should be free and manifest what it is that we need. We haven't been able to do that. Why? Because we've been suppressed, not just now, but for many, many, many thousands of years. The pyramids in Egypt, okay, are not as they appear to be. We all know that. The pyramids in Egypt had another pyramid that was over the top of them. And this was a pyramid of energetic light. And it reached up into the Sirius star. It reached up into there and connected with that and further beyond. And it moved down into the center, into the core of the earth. And when there were certain changes, for example, monotheism, that happened, this was deactivated. It fell apart. Thereby, the connection between our brothers and sisters of light that was always available to us was somehow diminished or made to be, invisible. Doesn't mean it's not there. It's almost like, you can't see the wind until you see it rustling through the trees. Then you're like, okay, it's windy. It must be windy outside, because you can't see it. It's invisible. But you can see the effects of it. Okay? So this was a vision that I had of a pyramid over the top of the pyramids. Okay? And there's something about that we're going to use today when we are doing our activation. Okay? So we have the key 1 second. We have the remembering that the key signifies the stage prior to the actual discovery of a treasure. I want you to imagine these keys right now. So the first one is silver. The second one is gold. And the third one is diamond. Okay. They also correspond with the, this is with the destiny code. They each correspond with a number. If you have a piece of paper right now, write down silver, gold, diamond keys. And I want you to think about, don't tell anybody, just think and write down on your page a number that goes to each of these keys. And this will be used later on. And this is a number that you're going to remember. There's a number sequence that you will remember really easily. Okay? But keep it to yourself. This is your destiny code. Keep this in mind or keep it separate right now. Okay? The next thing that I wanted to look up in my little book before we take a little bit of a break and we can talk about things is called Saturn. Okay, the energy of Saturn. So when Saturn returns or comes around, it has the power of bringing things up to the surface. So most people have their Saturn return, or everybody does, every 27 years of your life. So when you were 27, I got to pull my thing up. Sorry. When you were 27, what happened in your life? And then when you're 27 years after that, etc., etc. Now, I never used to think much about this. However, the symbology of the negatives, they work with different things. Okay? So the powers that so-called be, or the energy that came upon the earth so long ago and took everything over, or tried to wipe out our memories, tried to wipe out our abilities, tried to suffocate those people that are actually doing good on this planet and elevate the ones that are total jerks. Okay, the ones that are not going to lead you in the right direction, get everything. Think about that. Okay. So one of the things that the Masons, okay, so I've got to want to say the words. So let's say the Masons, because Masonry, is connected with everything that is dark on this planet. Okay, and there's symbology throughout. There's hand gestures throughout that people still use today. Okay, you'll see it. But one of the things that they worship is actually Saturn. Saturn also brings up viruses. Okay. One of the biggest ones, for example, was in 1981 when we had the AIDS virus running rampant. Okay. Let's see what Saturn means. Why am I doing this? To help humanity. Get the hell out of this crap. Okay, so where is it? Saturn. Oh, I gave myself the number. There we go. You're going to be mind blown. Okay. Saturn. Okay, where do you hear this? Saturn symbolizes time, which, with its ravenous appetite for life, devours all its creations, whether they are beings, things, ideas, or sentiments. Saturn is also symbolic of the insufficiency in the mystic sense of any order of existence within the plane of the temporal, or the necessary for the reign of Chronos, right? Which is Rhea and Kronos, Greek mythology. To be succeeded by another cosmic mode of existence in which time has no place. See? So hang on a minute. Are you ready? They want the reign of Kronos, okay? To be succeeded by another cosmic mode of existence in which time doesn't exist. Time brings restlessness. The sense of duration lasting from the moment of stimulus up to instant satisfaction. So Saturn is symbolic of activity, of slow, implacable dynamism, of realization and communication. And this is why he is said to have devoured his children, Kronos, Saturn, and why he is related to the Ouroboros, or the serpent which bites its own tail. Other attributes of his are the oar, standing for navigation and progress, and the hourglass, which symbolizes time, and the scythe, okay? And in the scythe, we can detect a double meaning. First, its function of cutting, parallel to and corroborating the symbolism of devouring. And secondly, it's a curved shape. Okay, so it's a feminine instrument, right? Which invariably corresponds to the feminine principle, right? This is why the alchemist masters in the spiritual science of symbolism named Saturn Mercurius Senexus, given the androgynous character of, see the androgynous thing again? Mercury, Saturn takes on the same characteristic ambiguity of gender and sex and is related to the earth, the sarcophagus, which is also feminine, and putrefaction, as well as to the color black. Mertens Stenon suggests that Saturn is, in every sense, a symbol of the law of limitation, which gives shape to life, or the localized expression in time and space of the universal life. It gives law to limitation. This is what these people worship. It's everywhere. Okay? People don't believe it, though, until you read it out to them, okay? Along with that, the scythe, okay, which is attributed to Saturn and in general linked with, okay, you're going to be blown, all right? Linked with death. It is also associated with Attis and the priests of Cybele, in which case the allusion is to self-mutilation. Okay? Many people in these cults and in this thing will make you mutilate yourself in order to prove yourself. It's throughout history. You know, you might get a brand, or you'll have to cut your hand, or you see what I'm saying? In some images of these deities, it is not a large agricultural scythe that is portrayed, but a small dagger curved in shape and called harpe. Broadly speaking, all curved weapons are lunar and feminine symbols, whereas straight ones are masculine and solar, because it's more of a phallus, like the obelisks. And that's the other side of masonry. You've got the masculine and feminine. You've got the sun and you've got the moon. And you've got these different things that depict those things through every way you look. Okay, it's in architecture. It's everywhere. Because it's the more you see it, the more powerful it becomes. So straightness signifies penetration and forcefulness. Curve suggests that the means to an end and passivity. For this reason, the harpe has been linked with the indirect way, that is, with the secret path which leads to the beyond. According to the dial, the scythe is also symbolic of the harvest of renewed hopes for rebirth. Hence, like Pisces in the zodiac, the scythe symbol incorporates the ambiguity of the beginning as the end and vice versa. Both these senses of mutilation and of hope are, despite their contradictory nature, related to the idea of sacrifice inherent in all images of weapons. All images of weapons give us the idea of sacrifice. Okay? I have so much to tell you about different seals, etc. The skull, the this, the that. Okay? There is so many things that will show you what I'm talking about. This is just a tiny, tiny little fragment of things that have been coming up to the surface that are seen everywhere, but we just don't put it together. Okay? My job is putting things together. Okay? Trying to make sense of the nonsense. All right? So that we can escape the curse that has been on this planet. And it's like we have so much help in what we're doing, but we don't recognize it as help because we've become untrustworthy in our nature. So we tend to question everything, especially ourselves. So there are different attributes that will need to change for you specifically. Okay? One of them is to have trust for the self, to heal old wounds and traumas and reactions that you've had, that your parents have had, that your whole family lineage have had, because of the oppression that they've been born into in one way or another. The control that appears to be freedom, you know, and Australia, for example, used to be called the lucky country. So it was like people believed that everything that happened there was for their best because they're the lucky country. And, you know, United States, the land of the free and the home of the brave. So we believed that no one would mess with that, since those things were generated a long time ago as our independence, right? That's what we wanted. And it's been made a mockery of. And in fact, Benjamin Franklin, you know, going back into George Washington even, you know, going back into them, they were all under a lot of Masonic type of energy. Not that they may have realized the extent of it, because it just seems to be a thing, I don't know, throughout history, that men would have these secret societies and clubs and all this, right? They would have their secrets, right? So whether it was to the different extents and degrees as, you know, what's been written in history, I'm not sure. Were things, were they convinced to do things in a certain way? Were they forced to do things in a certain way? Were they forced to word things in a certain way? Were they forced to put things on money in a certain way? You know, encode them with special things so that that frequency of those things continued to be in everyone's pocket, literally. So the energy was continuing to grow. And many people think they're doing the right thing when, you know, this is not, if you don't know that you're in a bad corporation or a bad system or, you know, thing, you're just doing your thing out of your honesty. But if we look at the big overheads of everything, it has been keeping us from the very thing that I'm telling you about today by distracting us into all of these other worries and concerns. You know, there was even a thing in 2016 saying, you will have nothing and you'll be happy about it. Okay? What the hell is that? How's that uplifting people to do more? They don't want you to. This is the thing. They want us squabbling within ourselves to keep us in that level of 3D that they are in control of, because on the other levels, they're far gone. They're long gone. You see? So we're going to try to jump into them. We had to do it ourselves. We had to come to this realization ourselves. And people don't want to put, like for me, I don't want to be any way other than my truth, right? I want to look at things and put things together and find a way out of it, which I feel like it's happened here. Okay? And it's much deeper than what I'm explaining for you now. And each one of you have a knowingness inside of you that something isn't right or you haven't been complete. And many people would say, well, we're complete when we go to the other side of the veil. And we go to the other side of the veil and we become into our wholeness, which is fantastic, right? But we can access that wholeness now. We can protect the different dimensions and aspects of ourselves. We can quantum jump into all of these things. And you might have heard of quantum jumping, quantum leaping, where you leap into that aspect of yourself that is perfectly healthy, wealthy, that book writer, abundant. Okay? People talk about this, but they don't activate it. So they may be there for a little while and then they'll come out of it and they'll think, well, that didn't bloody work. Because you have to activate it with your own keys. The key is right there. It talks about it. It talks about the 3 keys that I originally had set up anyway. Right? It makes sense. And we will be doing this activation coming up here. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that I need to mention. So just a moment. I'm just going to put my chat back up for a second. Okay. 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 Okay, so everybody, I couldn't see your posts just now, so I appreciate this, right? All right. Oh, thank you, Desiree. That's so cool. Okay, so if you have any questions before I go any further, please put your questions up here while I just organize myself. Fantastic. You see how it's all coming together? There's so many other things as well. I have about 6 inches of desk right now, so I'm trying to do this. Okay, so where's my book? Here it is. Aha. Okay, so I only just found you 10 minutes ago, and I'm so interested to learn. So Nicole, if you've just the symbols, the energy, and the money, I know. So Nicole Bauer, maybe wait until I'm finished and then come back, all right, and watch the whole thing all the way through so you can understand. Don't worry, Mary, I'm going to take you through the activation of the code and the keys and all of that, and all right, but we'll get to that together. So don't try to do it while I'm okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. So there's something else that excellent. Okay. Yeah, so just wait and we'll do it all together. It'll be spectacular, and I'm going to record it as a separate recording. I'm going to put it all up on the website for free for everybody to access later on. Okay. But for now, we're just going through. If you have any questions you want to ask me, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your donations. That's lovely. Okay, so excellent. Thanks, KP. I'm going to show you some things really in a moment, all right? There is a book that I don't think you're going to be able to get, and I can't mention it on here because it will definitely be flagged, okay? So let me just show you some stuff, and I will put it up for free later on. Please don't watch this when you're at work or something, but I appreciate you, Morgan. Thank you so much. I'm also going to make a part 2 with other different symbols, okay, so that we can see them. And by then it won't matter because we'll be in our destiny code. But this is so that you can have this education and help those that are still in the 3D. This is also to show you when you learn with me, at the Light Leaders Academy, I'm helping you to lift into your own destiny, right? And teach others, because I can't do all of this by myself. This is why I started the academy. Everybody said they wanted it, and I wanted to be able to spread our chain of light and truth across this globe, because nobody's going to teach you this stuff. They're just not going to do it. I'm telling you. Otherwise you would know. You're welcome. So I'm going to show you something in just a moment. And I will show you from my iPad onto the screen. Now, I've got to be careful because I don't want... All right, so... there are certain signs and imagery here. So I'm going to... Yeah. So check in. Yeah. Thank you, Desiree. There are ways in which you can pay over 12 months, okay, and get started today if you want to do the Light Leaders Academy. Change your life. Like Desiree will tell you, she's already finished semester 1, going into semester 2 soon. It's just like it's unlocking what you already know, but very thoroughly, okay? So if you think this is thorough, wait till you start learning with me. But still, okay, so hang on a moment. Aha, here we go. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just making sure I've got the right thing here. I may actually be able to... Thanks, Gilda. All right, so... okay. All right, just one moment, everybody. I'm just making sure I've got this going on here. I want to point something out, okay? And I want to just point this out. It's just really important to do so. And it's not going to be in full context because I'm going to do another part to this, okay, where I'm talking more about symbology of everything. But I'm going to read to you something that's pretty interesting. Okay, so we think we know everything and then more comes, right? So let me get this. Now, remember when I was talking about the different levels of commitment, okay, and in Masonry, okay, the different levels of commitment are shown by different hand gestures, okay, and also different symbols. And I'm going to show you what I mean here in a moment. Just got to get to the right thing. Okay, we're getting close. Sorry, this is a big 500-page thing, so I'm... So the sign of silence. I'm telling you stuff that is, we're not supposed to talk about it. All right, hang on a second. Okay, so I want to show you something, and I'm going to try to show you on the screen, even though I can't screen share. No. Oh, no. Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something about this one particular seal. This is amethyst. It's moonstone. So, a Jewish New Year postcard, 1915, amazingly revealing. In the protocols, the Jewish Zionist conspiracy is described as a symbolic serpent encircling the world. As if to emphasize that this is the correct understanding, the writing in Hebrew at the bottom of this Jewish New Year postcard is the word Leviathan. The identity of Leviathan is revealed in Isaiah 27 as the serpent or Satan. And this was a postcard from 1915. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay? The symbology of things is everywhere, right? It said Happy New Year, it said. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you about something else. I know. So in the Illuminati serpent, it says, in the two Babylons, in the world mythology of the primitive world, the serpent is universally the symbol of the sun. This is important because this comes in later on. And as the sun was the enlightener of the world, so the serpent was held to have been the great enlightener of the spiritual by giving mankind knowledge of good and evil, right? So the sun is connected with it as well. Now, wait a second. We're getting there. Hang on. Look at this for Crown Royal. This is an ad for Crown Royal that we love. We have loved. It says, tempted. See, it seems innocent, right? But it's re-emphasizing, I've got itchy, re-emphasizing the control. These are things that have been taken away from anywhere where we can't find this stuff anymore. So, okay, so let me just keep going for a second. Okay. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I've just got to quickly get through this. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I want to tell you something here about the seal of the USA, okay? Okay, so from the front side. Okay, so let's just have a look at this for a second. There's something else I wanted to have a look at here. There was an actual photograph of something. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, this is going to blow your mind if you've not seen this before. Then we're going to get ready to activate this whole thing, okay? So I just want you to be understanding of what we've been dealing with here. The whole as above, so below is extremely dangerous as well. This is another reason why people used to bring up witchcraft or wickery to me and being a white witch and all this kind of stuff. I was not interested in it because that's one of their sayings, as above, so below. And that's actually quite a dark meaning to that we will get to as well. It's actually an instruction, and it's an instructional device. A lot of the Jewish rabbis used it as well. Now, wait a second. I'm getting close to it. Okay. So the seal. This is some of the weirdest pictures in here, like, honestly. So, we have the double, headed serpent for the medical industry, and Freemasonry has a double-headed eagle. Okay. Now, this is an interesting take on this, and I'm just trying to find the right thing. Okay, here we go. Okay. So there are 3 pictures, okay, of this particular seal of USA. All right. I've got to be careful what I say. The eagle is the sun. The sun is worshipped in these particular masonry, right? Sun is worshipped. Eagle is the sun. The double-headed energy of the 2-headed eagle is connected with this as well, and it's connected with a demon. Okay, I don't want to say the demon's name. So the Oval Office and the eagle in the Great Seal. Okay, bear with me. In the Wall Street Journal, former presidential speechwriter and commentator Peggy Noonan reported on an interview she had with President George W. Bush in the White House. As she sat before him, a friendly chief executive, Bush brought up the topic of the eagle symbol. Okay. Oh, God, Mary. Well, I'm going to tell you what that's actually very, very high up. Okay. And there was some stuff that was done. So just hold your thought. As she sat before him, a friendly chief executive Bush brought up the topic of the eagle symbol so prominently displayed in the Oval Office. Okay. President said that the carved American eagle on the front of his antique desk, which I'll show you in a minute, the one that was used by Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, and Bill Clinton. The head of the eagle, he notes, is turned towards the arrows it holds in its talon. But look here, he says, at the American eagle in the presidential seal on the rug. The head is turned away from the talons, from the arrows, toward the olive branches that he holds in his other talon. Harry Truman changed it, he said. He wanted America looking toward peace. Or did he? I'll show you in just a moment. So the top left is the president's oak desk. You might not be able to see this. Oh yeah, you can. There's the president's oak desk. Okay. You can't really see the next one with the seal on the floor. Oh, there it is. And here's the seal on the floor. It's the same as the desk, except for the eagle facing now the olive branch. Okay. What does this matter? Wouldn't you think that's a great thing? Listen to this. So, this desk has been in place in the White House since 1887, when it was given as a gift to President Rutherford B. Hayes by Great Britain's Queen Victoria. Okay? The middle panel of the desk bears the presidential seal, with the eagle facing to the right, as was added by President Franklin D. Roosevelt to hide his use of a wheelchair. Roosevelt was a 32-degree Mason. So if yours was a 33-degree Mason, okay, pretty high up there. Bottom left is the presidential seal. And it's funny that they talked about it, but still. Bottom left is the presidential seal woven into the Oval Office's carpets, displayed in the front of the desk. This is the same seal as is on the desk, except that here the eagle is facing the opposite direction to the left, right? Finally, we see President George Bush and aides holding a conference in the Oval Office. Bush's carpet is a different, lighter color than that of the Clinton era, but the presidential seal on the carpet or rug continues to show the eagle facing to the left, while the desk has the bird facing to the right. In combination, this reflects the classic double-headed left and right eagle of 33-degree Freemasonry. Notice also that in Bush's carpet added a number of brilliant, radiant sun rays arching out from the seal because they worship the sun and Saturn and the serpent and these things, right? And it indicates the illumination of the presidency of the USA. Moreover, at the Bush conference, the positioning of furniture and accessories, chairs and tables, generates the classic Masonic Lodge ritual arrangement. Plus, we have overall the Mason square and compass with a circle design. The Seal of Solomon, yes, okay? I'll explain that in a minute. Plus, we have the overall Mason square and the compass within the circle. The red roses in the middle are symbolic that they are the feminine aspect or the vagina, while the eagle represents the masculine or the phallus. Okay, so this is them in the, you probably can't see this one very well, but this was the meeting that they had where the photograph was taken, and you can see the rays and all the way that the people are sitting, etc. Okay. So this was a 33-degree, President Truman was 33-degree Mason. Peace to a Mason means something entirely different. Okay, so when he had it turning the other way to the, it's just so wonderful. He's putting it to the to mean peace, right? It's something entirely different than what it means to you and I. In fact, to a Mason, peace is defined according to the Hegelian dialectical process of double-mindedness. Thus, the motto, perpetual war for perpetual peace. What Miss Noonan also failed to realize is that in turning the two heads of the eagle, one carved on the desk, the other on the rug, in opposite directions, the Illuminati is reproducing and mimicking the symbol of the double-headed eagle in Freemasonry. Okay, I'm going to get into that more. And someone, Mary said the word Solomon, or it's the seal of Solomon, which goes back into our triangles. So we have a look at 281. Here it is. Seal of Solomon. Okay, I know, right? See? This consists of two triangles superimposed. So it's two triangles, one this way and one going the opposite way, right? Superimposed and interlaced so as to form the six-pointed star. With terms, it is the star of the microcosm, or the sign of the spiritual potential of the individual who can endlessly deny himself. In reality, it is a symbol of the human soul as a conjunction of consciousness and the subconscious, signified by the intermingling of the triangle, denoting fire and water. Both of these are, according to the alchemic theory, subject to the principle of the immaterial called azoth by the philosophers, and represented in the seal of Solomon by the central point, which is not actually portrayed, but which has to be seen in the imagination alone, as in some of the mandalas, right, of India and Tibet. So the seal of Solomon is a secret, a supernatural secret. And secret societies, for example, symbolize the power of the supernatural and explains their disquieting effect upon most human beings. Carl Jung is emphatic about this, pointing out that for some reason, it's very helpful for the individual so affected to unburden himself of his secrets. They've got to get it out. Okay? This is why, this is the rule we've been under. It's very demonic. Okay? It's very evil. And I know people have their family members in it. I know. Mine as well. So why do they do it? Okay? It's a promise. It's a promise, a powerful promise. That was what was first given way back in Atlantean Lemurian times. A promise of power, a promise of riches, a promise of success, a promise of wealth. And lo and behold, you will see a whole lot of stuff happen as well. So just believe, keep your mouth shut, or you are going to be cut from ear to ear. It says it. Okay? Secret. On the other hand, the ability to master this state of tension within yourself confers an awareness of unfailing superiority, a sensation which is common in individuals who live outside the law and in spies and privy counselors to king and magnates. This same idea supplies part of the basic attraction of historic thought and all forms of the hermetic science in literature and art as well. One more thing. Okay, so one more thing, just 1 second. Okay. So the twin-tailed energy as well comes up a lot in masonry and pictures and things. And it could either be a bird or a fish energy as well. This is another thing that connects like the twin tails. You've got the twin snakes. You've got the twin eagles. Okay, you got the whole thing going on. It expresses life enticing the souls of those who are deprived of it. All right, just wait a second. So we have the crossbones and crosses and things like that going back, and that gets really, really big as well. So stay tuned for part 2. But one thing about the skull is in masonry, in secret societies and all that sort of stuff, is broadly speaking, it's an emblem of the mortality of man, as in the literally examples of Hamlet and Faust, right? So we know that those plays. However, like the snail's shell, it is in truth what survives of the living being once its body has been destroyed. This is the only thing that survives, right? So if it therefore comes to acquire significance as the receptacle for life and for thought, it is with this symbolic meaning that it figures in books on alchemy, where it was represented as the receptacle used in the processes of transmutation. So they believed by drinking out of this that they would transmute or absorb the energy of something that's alive from that person. Nope, it doesn't, Karen. That's what I think we all thought, okay? And that's why those sorts of analogies are in there. I will get to it. So, a great many forms of superstition, ritual, and indeed of cannibalism are derived from the idea. Cannibalism. It's in all of the things here, okay? Right. As above, so below. Just a second. All right. As above, so below. Okay. Just wait 1 second. It's a satanic doctrine, as above, so below. And it is a Masonic symbol. And what they do is they use, because you're talking about the Seal of Solomon. Remember, the Seal of Solomon is in the 2 triangles. So one is facing down and one is facing up, as above, so below. And so if we're thinking of it as worshipping Solomon or the Seal of Solomon or the sun god or whatever, then that's where that comes in. So we were all thinking, as above, so below. Oh, as in heaven, so it is on earth. They want you to think that once again, to keep on repeating it. So it is these symbols of the so below sort of thing is that they are doing the work of the devil on the earth, right? All right, just 1 second. I'll show you what I mean. It's the idea of opposites as well. Yeah, as it on hell, so shall it be on earth. Right. Okay, so, and we have a lot of people that do this one thing, this things. They have inverted everything. Exactly. Okay, they've inverted everything into being a negative thing that you wouldn't even notice again. These are things to keep us keeping that energy alive. That's why we must change it. We have to change it. And we've got the capability of doing it. Yep. So in the tarot card, we see the magician, right? He holds this baton up. It's also called the magus. And he holds it up in his right hand, and he pointed to the earth with his left, right? So on the table in front of him, he has the 4 symbols, okay? and meaning infinity or eternity. It's a godlike being integrated on all planes that is liberated through gnosis or knowledge. His gesture refers to the basic occult principle of that which is above is that which is below, right? So it's saying that the Satan is the deity of the universe, that he shall be king over all realms, above and below, and that the reign of he, the serpent, okay, shall stand for all eternity. The Scottish Rite textbook, A Bridge to the Light by Rich Hudskins, which was a 33-degree Mason, outlines the knowledge and symbol used for these various degrees of Masonry, and he illustrates the principle of Albert Pike. Albert Pike was a Scottish Mason who went and helped the Confederate Army. Okay? There's the cross. Okay? The stars and bars. There's the cross. There's the cross with the skull and bones. There's the cross in the church. It's all a mockery. That's why I always tell you, well, maybe I haven't always told you, but I've said before previously, we shouldn't use crosses because it's a mockery. The devil mocks it, okay? Thinking that you're going to be safe from something that he's created anyway, you see? So according to these principles, the Ouroboros serpent, so as above, so below, represents eternity in the Holy Spirit of the triune Godhead. In other words, the Illuminists are declaring that the serpent identified in the scriptures as the devil is, in their religion, the divine Holy Spirit, a blasphemous concept. Then we have the Egyptian iconography, where you have, the head of Thoth is an ibis, let's just say, but the body of a man. The double energy here. Yeah, the magician, the tarot, all of those are symbols, that are created through this. And our job is to use it to bring positive energy. Everything can be positive. So the tarot have Freemasonry things in there. The triangle on the temperance card. The sun, obviously illuminating everything. You have the serpents on the magician card and things as well, right? So you have all the symbology everywhere. Aleister Crowley was a Satanist, right? And he has his own cards and all of this sort of stuff. This is why the church was always against our divination, right? Even though it means God is within. Divination is Latin for God is within, divine, right? But it doesn't matter. So you have to use the things that you have, the things that you've been given, the things that you've been shown throughout your life positively, because then they don't win, okay? So the double-headed eagle shown here on Albert Pike's classic text, Morals and Dogma, is a symbol of the Jewish Masons. It represents the Babylonian god of money and forces, which is starting with M and ending in Ra, but it's a different name than Ra, okay? I don't want to say it because I don't want to give it any power either. The same symbol as the Masonic jewel awarded high-level Masons initiated. This is what they get when they get into, pure intent. When they get into the 33rd degree. So you can see why this was put on the seal, right? When they get into the 33rd degree, there it is. These are things that we shouldn't be able to see. And also with the eye iconography, I don't use the symbol of the evil eye thing, the blue thing. Everybody seems to do it. I don't. Something has always said, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. That eye is iconography as well. Whoops. Now on the in Russia, this is on the gate of a sprawling and luxurious old mansion, has this sitting on it. How come? Let's have a look. the star, the eagle, double-headed. And then we have the Russian Tsar. The Tsar had a horse, obviously horses in the stables and things, and 1795, and it continues to bear the symbol of double-headed eagle, a triangle, and diamonds, which are all illuminist signs. This is from 1795. Why? Why would they put that if it wasn't what we were seeing here, right? Yep, exactly, Lynn. Okay, and it goes on and on and on. In the Department of Justice building in Washington, D.C., there's a statue of a Confederate General Albert Pike. This is the same Albert Pike that was a high-degree Mason, the same Albert Pike that was really wanting there to be all of this tension. He served as a sovereign grand commander of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry, Southern jurisdiction. So usually people will go nuts about Confederate monuments and statues on government lands. But Jesse Jackson, I'm trying really hard not to say these names, and Farrakhan are actually 33-degree Masons. So at the foot of Pike's Justice Department statue is a Masonic female figure representing Lady Justice, holding a banner with the 33-degree double-headed eagle and the triangle of Freemasonry. Yep. That's what I'm saying. We're putting the money straight in our pockets all the time and carrying the energy around with us. Okay? Right in Washington. Okay. So it gets into the Great Seal and the all-seeing eye and all of these things, but I want to get into later on, okay? Because it is really, really interesting for us to know these things. I've just put the chat down for a minute because it's a little bit distracting. We'll go into all of this, but we really won't. The only reason that we would need to go into it is to help others who are still living in it, still refuse to see it, and may possibly come to you for help. You know, the idea of our existence on the planet is to understand the confines, the limitations of people. Now, people limit themselves all the time. The angels tell us not to have any limitations. That if there's something that's evil, we can create something positive. That we have the keys to our destiny. This is the Destiny Code webinar. And the reason that I'm giving you this is to free you. And I channeled this and I worked on this all morning, pretty much, to be able to come up with all the symbology and all of the connecting of the dots and asking, you know, the divine for messages as well. I want to tell you something else, okay? Just a minute. Let me have a mouthful. Okay. Just listen to this for a moment. This is also another discovery that I have had, and this goes into a whole lot of other stuff as well. But let me just give you this much, and then we're going to get into the meditation. So when Lemuria transcended and Atlantis fell, the land shifted and continents were formed, okay? The crystallized and magnetic grids of Earth formed geometrics that created energy vortexes, sustaining and maintaining specific plant and animal life, climatic conditions, ecological balance, and astrological and cosmic interaction. Civilizations, races, and cultures formed in different locations all over the earth. Different races and cultural belief systems were not only established through migration and environmental influences on Earth, but also because specific dimensions energetically influenced them. Specific star constellations and their astrological energetic impact affected not only the health and karmic genetic imprints of different civilizations and races, but embedded deep belief systems and levels of consciousness. In this way, every civilization, society, or indigenous culture established its own color, race, and unique lifestyle and belief system. Certain species still energetically support the evolution of genetic mutation by connecting through the grid points of the global grid matrix at specific locations on Earth, which link up to specific corresponding cosmic grid points aligned with star formations and systems. These formations create and sustain stellar gateways or connecting corridors into adjoining worlds within different frequencies and dimensions of space. For example, a grid line from Egypt connecting precisely to the star Sirius in the belt of Orion then creates a doorway through Orion into specific galactic and spiritual realms within both Orion and Sirius. The vibrational energies created from grid points within the Earth and cosmos connect to these specific star constellations, creating a universal pull and connection to energetic doorways into different dimensions and their existing realities. Okay? From deep within our consciousness, we communicate from and through Earth to the stars and beyond, into other realms and to intelligent life forms from different parts of the multi-dimensional universe. Okay? There are doorway points within the Earth, and that is a long one for me to go through. There are doorway grid points, which are a vital part of our ascension process and encoding the 12-strand DNA system. We're going to do all of this today, ascending into higher consciousness. So the fifth dimensional holographic reality, everything is in a process of rapid change to allow for the new fifth dimensional holographic reality to manifest. And what we're doing is we're lifting our energy into it now. So our complete DNA, 12-strand DNA system, we have been working on for a really long time. And maybe you had some changes happen in 2011, 2012, and 2013 to anchor this energy in. Okay? So there is this doorway points within the human body. And this is what we're going to step through the diamond doorway today. This diamond doorway, as I said to you, in the soul star chakra just above your head, has the ability to open, close, okay, and go back and forth in time. You can move into this thing. If your diamond doorway has been open for a long time, then you may be flooded with all this fear and past life crap, and it's just constantly at you, and you have to shut it. And only you can shut it because you actually have the key, get it, to open or shut these doors within you. If you left the thing open, it's flapping around like, okay? So when the doorway opens, the old painful memories that tear the etheric body and create unusual symptoms can feel like the experience in sometimes of an alien abduction, like you're being taken, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that only the doorways that we wish to have open are open to us. Doorways are within us as well as our chakra points. They are within, the doorway connects into the level of the auric field. The level of the auric fields in each one of them connects into a different realm or dimension, right? It goes deeper and deeper. Then we go into the void, where all thing is just creation. It's just like this circle of creation that you can sort of like dip your hand in and pick out what you want in that void. You have the diamond grid gateways, okay? You have an earthly existence of control, and you have as a 3D world of experiment control, okay? And then you have the 4D, 5D, and onward, beyond whatever you can imagine the number, where we've already done this before. We've already conquered all this crap. And the idea is to not fall for the illusion, because there is illusion everywhere trying to make itself out to be something good. For most of you, if you have had a life, if you have had a life on this planet where it's been hell, okay, one thing after another, one problem after another, one issue after another, then you are in a sense, you're a gateway point. You're a doorway for others to hold that door open, let them in. Energetically speaking, they are trying to stop you by having you focus your whole life on trauma, having you focus your whole life on never being accepted, having you focus your whole life of being shut down, shut off, having things twisted that come out of your mouth, having people at you all the time, right? Having this problem or that problem, overthinking this and overthinking that, and stressing out about this and stressing and causing problems in your physical body. Because when you have confusion in your mind, which is the universe, then the organs, which are the planets, don't know what the hell to do. And then you start treating yourself like crap and talking down to yourself. Everything that's coming out of your mouth is just creating. Your body responds to what you're saying, to what you're thinking. What consumes your thoughts controls your life. That is a song lyric from the band Creed. What the hell? They knew what they were talking about. God and the worship in a religious fashion, and going to a church where there is ritual going on, and there is do as you're told or else going on, and there's things that you have to do. Like my dad would tithe 10% of every single pay he got for his whole lifetime. So he had to pay his way into heaven, did he? Or into the likeness of the church, or I don't know. He had to be allowed to do certain things and make these decisions. Other people went and saw, their spiritual leaders for advice, and, were told to stay in situations that were terribly bad for them. We've had things right in our face, and we haven't known about it. We haven't been looking for it because we're not evil. Okay, we're just not wired that way. Other people have the impression that by doing as they're told, they're going to be rewarded. And when they receive rewards in this life, millions and millions of dollars, they're going to have to. They've signed things away for that to occur. They have to keep their mouth shut. This is a sign. There's signs of them. There's signs of the levels of commitment that you have to the masonry in the church as well. People don't want to know that, right? Why don't people want to know it? Because to think about it that way, they feel like they are powerless. And this is why I wanted to bring up some of these things as part of the Destiny Code, because it has been taken from humanity. You don't know that you have a way out. You don't know that you're so smart that you created for yourself a safety mechanism in case everything was stripped away, in case the 12-strand DNA is completely, removed from your energy, in case there was cancers and lung clots and all these things that have been given to you through the medical, with the snakes things, with their remedies, which are not going to be helpful. They're not going to work to uplift your cells. Most people just believe they're going to get better, and that's why they don't care about taking medicines or anything, because they just believe they're going to feel better when they take a aspirin or something like that. I'm going to feel better. That's what's making you better, is your mind thoughts, or making you worse. It works like both ways, right? If you're truly sick of it and you're ready to move in to your true destiny, which means that you no longer can handle the nonsense. I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to handle drama. Some people were telling me that they were going to watch this while they were out and about or moving around and that. And I'm like, no, I want you to take this seriously. This is huge. We're not supposed to know this information, right? We're not. We're not supposed to delve into anything that's going to help us. We've got to stay scared, and we've got to stay addicted, and we've got to stay brainwashed, okay? And all of the movies and all of the societies and all of the hierarchies and all of it, you've got money and you haven't, is all there to keep us against each other and not embracing the truth, which is we've won. We far surpass all of this evil indoctrination, which is mimicking itself as positive energy. You've all seen it throughout spirituality in itself. Freaky tarot readers that scare you. People that tell you things that are ethically wrong. People that talk about, oh, you're going to have a baby and you're going to get pregnant, you're going to die and all that sort of crap. That is an example of darkness woven through what's supposed to be relief, what's supposed to be help. People get all messed up. I remember that I used to be the person that would call up a lot of psychics myself. Okay? I would be the person. And I thought to myself, if I call 3 people and 2 of those people tell me the same thing, then that's the direction I'm going in. None of them told me anything that was the same. I was scared. I was told to leave situations I was not ready to leave. People were thinking, I guess they thought they were doing the right thing, but they were making money by the minute. So the longer they keep you on the phone, voila. I was asked to be on lots of different things, on what do you call them? Psychic calls, hotlines, and all that stuff. I didn't want to do it. I've always been turned away from it, right? I didn't even do phone calls over the phone for the longest time because to me, everything can be done on an email and people get too personable, right? And that's what ends up happening is they latch on to you and suddenly, you've said this or you've said that and they've taken it this way or taken it that way because that's what they expect because everybody else has treated them like crap or lied to them in their life or meant this when they've said this. They've been manipulated, so they expect it from everybody. Not everybody is evil or evil entwines. People are trying to help you to get out of whatever you are in, okay, and lift you to the next vibration. And you can tell the people that are there to help you because they will not limit you on what you can do. They will tell you that you are equal. They will tell you that you have more capabilities than what you ever have been told in your life before. That you can do anything that you set your mind to. Imagination is key to everything, right? So if you get someone that says, no, your energy's all wrong for that, or no, that's never going to be, when it's something that's going to uplift you, walk away. You know, recently there was someone that was telling me about a friend of theirs that was writing a book, and that this psychic called this lady to tell her how terrible her writing was and how horrible the whole thing was going to, and that she took too many shortcuts, and that she should have done this and she should have done that, and that she hates people that are self-published, and that they didn't go through things the hard way. What the hell kind of a person would do that? Let alone someone who's supposed to be an advisor of sorts. You know, there's one thing about putting your foot down and bringing boundaries into your life. Of no, I'm not accepting that. That's different. But purposely contacting someone just to upset them is evil, right? It's cruel and unnecessary. And as you can see, you know, throughout the timeline of history, that there was a corruption to the pathway of humanity. And our job as divine beings of light is to work it out without any kind of care in the world about why they've done it. Well, we know how they've done it, okay? We don't really need to know why, other than it's for gain. It's for being famous or whatever the people wanted. Being a leader or being this or being that, right? Whatever it is. But we don't care about it. All we need to know is that we can slip out from under it and go to the other side, open up this doorway to our destiny, and we no longer have to deal with that crap. And if it's there, it's only there as an experience that you may have to help somebody. That's it. The rest is going to come to you quite easily when we step into this. So now, that is exactly what we're getting ready to do. So I'm just going to pop this thing back up. Sorry, guys. Yep. Okay. Okay. So everyone's talking about all the things that they've seen. It's obvious, okay? And I'm going to do a part 2 where I will break all of that down. But right now, let's just step into this destiny code and activate this. I am going to take you through this quick journey. It's only very quick. I hope that you will share this webinar with as many people as you can. I hope that you will consider becoming a leader, because that's who you really are, and learning how to heal yourself very, very beautifully and share this with the world, because everything's falling apart and we're going to need you. This is not something that one person can do alone anymore. Now you have payment options, etc., etc. It's not going to be, it's a 12-month payment option if you want it, okay? Consider it as a life-changing experience for yourself, because we have to step into this and we all have to help each other to do so. We can't be ruled anymore by the way that things have always been. All right. So These people are calling me and calling me and calling me. It drives you nuts. Okay. Awesome, Patty. Thank you. Don't forget to go back and listen to the channeled message as well, right? It was all in there. And there's going to be more and more and more that I'm going to present to you. But right now, I want to take you through the activation of the 3 keys and the numbers that are associated with them. All right. This is very simple what we're going to do here. Okay. All right. All right. Everybody, here we go. This is going to be a very quick and easy activation. And I'm going to read to you a little bit first about this. And then we are going to activate the destiny code. And you're going to have to do this. It's a triple experience. You're going to have to do it 3 times a week for 3 weeks. It's a 21-day experience, okay? And really integrate the positive into your life. If you are experiencing things that are physical, etc., you just need to reinforce your support team and stop overthinking the whole thing. And just trust that sometimes we are expanding. Okay, sometimes we are expanding and it actually feels like our bones are moving, when that's happening. We can feel headaches, we can feel dizziness, we can feel tiredness, we can feel, all kinds of things, but reinforce who you are. You are activating your destiny code. Nobody else is going to do this for you. This is something that you activate yourself. And I really hope that you enjoy this very quick and easy process, okay? So, if you are ready, all right, just close your eyes. I'm going to take you through this beautiful star of Sothis consciousness, a bodhisattva connection to open up your keys of destiny. Here we go. When your star rises, you begin to take your place in the garden of the gods, become a part of the great star nation and of the great awakening for humanity. It is from the place that Sothis, which is Isis in her star form, rises up in the sky. Each one of us must become that star. The star Sothis is more commonly known as the dog star or Sirius. The blue star, as it is also known, is the brightest star in the night sky. In the sky, as seen above Egypt, Sothis follows the neighboring constellation of Orion as it sets in the west and disappears from view for 70 days beginning each May. When it appears on the eastern horizon in July, it heralds the flooding of the Nile, and it marks the birthday of Thoth, god of wisdom, and the first day of the Egyptian agricultural calendar year. Right now, as you are connected into the center of the new earth and the center of the earth, and protected and in your place of receiving. Your destiny code has been activating within you as you have been listening to this entire presentation. And I'm just wanting you to imagine yourself now moving slightly up above your head to move into your soul star chakra, which is just a few inches above your head. Imagine your head enlarging now up into the soul star. Just use your imagination, don't fight it. And stretching down into the earth star chakra, which is just below your feet. So you're becoming taller. And I want you to see yourself become taller and taller and taller in your pillar of light that you're creating. I want you to be as tall as you can imagine. And stay in this energy right now. Sothis, the star of Sothis, creates the cosmic pouring out onto the world. And as the cosmos pours out its energies onto the world, conscious awareness pours out of a vessel into the waters upon the earth. The waters are related to consciousness as well as the inundation and subsequent fertility. The star that is rising, Sothis, is the individualized star of each person's soul that rises when the person has been through death and rebirth. With each sequence, she rises anew, much like Inanna, the Sumerian goddess who goes into the underworld and then rises again. Inanna is the mirror reflection of Sothis, and like her, also Queen of Heaven and Earth. Sothis shines as the star of wisdom gained through her underworld experience. She pours that wisdom out through her own being, through her body, back to the earth. So Sothis represents the ascension of matter, a type of resurrection. It is matter spiritualized and expanded with sufficient energy so that each person is able to do whatever they need to do. Sothis is sacred purpose. She gives purpose and meaning to our spiral path of the shamanic death and rebirth. And her delight is to pour this cornucopia of joyful celebration back into the hearts and minds of men and women and all beings. So imagine yourself now, beautiful and tall. You are connected into your soul star chakra and lengthened into your earth star chakra. And you're taking a moment to reflect upon your journey, reflecting through the mysteries that you've been through so far. And I want you to imagine that you are looking up at the starry night, looking up at the twinkling stars above, and feel the unconditional love of the universe surrounding you and upholding you. And we are asking now that if there are any doorways dimensional doorways that are open when they should be closed, that these all close around us now. And in front of you, I want you to imagine that there is a silver key that is coming in front of you. It's moving down the front of your energy field. It can be as big or as small as you like. And this silver key, you take it in both of your hands now, and you can see that it is ornately carved and it has your name across it. It is shiny and beautiful. You know that you have your spiritual light team with you, and that you are safe and protected to activate the first key. Place it into your heart space now and turn it in whatever direction you feel is correct for you, while saying the number in your mind. For example, it might be number 1, and you say 1 as you turn your silver key. And just pause for a moment. Okay, so you're beginning to just become a little bit lighter and lighter. And just feeling gratitude for the very human experience of your life. And now we have this silver key in place, and you've given it a number, and it holds a certain vibration that you may feel slightly now in your body. And now just coming in front of your awareness once again is a beautiful golden key. And this key is much larger than the silver key. And as you have a look at this in front of your energy field, you can put it in your hands if you want to. You'll notice the carving on it and any symbols that might be on it for you as well, and your name. And you give this particular key a number. For example, it might be number 2. And imagine this also going into your heart space, turning that key whatever direction you want to, and stating the number to activate the energy. Breathe this in. And see that you are beginning to feel a little bit different in the way perhaps that you're breathing. Maybe you just feel some relief wash over you. But with this particular golden key now in your heart space with the number associated with it, I want you to imagine taking a step forward right now. Move forward. 1 step. And finally, the third key comes down, which is a diamond key. It is enormous, but it's very light. And it sparkles and shines and shimmers. And once again, you have a number that you have associated with this key. And once again, place this key into your heart space. Turn the key as you say the number. And breathe. I want you to repeat the colors of these keys. Silver, and what number did you give it? Silver, and say the number. Gold, say the number. Diamond, say the number. I hereby activate my own destiny code with these numbers, with these colors, with these keys, and with this vibration. Only I can activate my own destiny code. I cannot give this to anyone else. I now step into my new reality. I now step into my destiny, my truth. I now accept the changes that are going to occur as I initiate my true self and my true life path. I'm going to know exactly what I need to do. And I must activate this 3 times a week for 3 weeks, and then I am done. I am reborn. I am more powerful than ever before. I am connected with all that is. And I will know what I need to do, where I need to be, and what is right for me in every aspect. I do not need to explain myself to anyone. This is my own connection with my own self. Now, beam your own gratitude right now up to the stars. Give thanks. Be happy. And step back now into your new space that is cleansed and cleared and activated. The consciousness, the memories, and the new energy are flowing through you now. But to fully integrate this energy, be sure you do this for yourself. Now, take a deep breath in and imagine yourself staying in that taller energy now. That is who you are. You're integrating more with those upper chakras and the lower ones so that you are always in that pillar of light of receiving. Now you will receive messages and information, and you're going to know what you need to do. So don't doubt yourself for a second. Take a deep breath in and out. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. Saving this for us. All right, everybody. How do you feel? Let me know. Mm-hmm. It's very peaceful, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. This is something that that's weird. Oh, I can't get rid of that. Okay, I'm trying. I know, right? There's this sense of knowingness as well. Because after all, this is something that you set up. Don't give those numbers or those keys away to anybody. Those are yours. Okay. Yes, I have recorded these separately. So I will put the recording in the video, and I'll also timestamp when the activation begins so that you can listen to it through here, or you'll be able to go to my Teachable website, Academy, and access the free Destiny code from there. This is part 1. Oh, no. Okay, Mary. So either you trust that the situation happened or that there was a distraction on purpose. So you trust that it happened, or you go back and you start again and do it again. Okay. May have to, certain people are going to start putting their feet, foot down a little bit more too, and activating your courage a little bit more also, right? Whew. Okay. Yeah, well, don't give in to any of that. All right. That means that you need to do it. So if you're being interrupted and distracted and all those sorts of things, you've got to not allow yourself to do that either. So, it's time to step into a new existence for yourself, and know that the dark will try to distract you, but we can't give into it. Doesn't matter. You are very welcome, everybody. So I just want to also say that, to finish things off, that we give gratitude and thanks for all beings of light, all of our light team working with us, our higher self, source energy. And we have stepped into this. We've initiated the process. Nothing's going to take it away from us. All right. It's time to move forward. And yeah. You're welcome. And I will let you know when we'll do a second part of this. And I may actually do a second part of this just pre-recorded so that nothing goes wrong as well. You are welcome. So pay attention to things that are going to happen from now on. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your feelings. Okay. Thank you for being here and activating this at this time with us as well, and being here. So just give me a little time to work out all the timestamps, and then I'll get it up at my website as well. And if you do want to be a part of the Light Leaders Academy, there will be links, okay? But I want to give the link so that you can pay it off slowly if you want to as well. Beautiful. Excellent. Well done, Nikki. That's the way. Take notes, because a lot of this was, on the spot too. So I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you so much. Those that were meant to be here were here at this time, and others who knew they were going to be distracted, thanks for doing it properly, because this is really important, as you can see. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here, and to my husband for helping and moderating as well, and all the light leaders for showing up. Thank you so much. I hope this has helped you, and away we go. Okay, we've got this. So lots of love. Many, many blessings. So you want to do 3 repetitions of it 3 times for 3 weeks. Okay? So 3, 3, 3. 3 times, 3 times a week for 3 weeks. This is the integration process. I know it can be hard, but you'll be better for it if you do it. Okay? So just be patient with me, and I'll at least have it so that you can get to it through the YouTube video and get to the actual point and go to the timestamps, and then we'll go from there. Excellent. And then I'll get it up on the website, and you don't have to worry, all the recordings will be there as well. So much love, everybody. Hope this was helpful. Many blessings. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.